Okay, switch flipped.
Cool.
Yeah. Hello,
We
everyone.
are live.
We are live. Thank you for joining us on the latest episode of Orbit. Yeah,
hmm
latest news. We're going to take a look at what has happened in GraphQL over the last week. Before we do that, how are you, Trevor?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm hanging in there. I ran out of coffee last night, so I'm gonna have to
Ooh,
go replenish that. But we're surviving, so it's all good.
cool. Awesome. Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
telling Trevor a little before. I myself am feeling a little anxious today. Yeah, I don't know. Just like a lot of stuff. I think being cooped up is like pretty bit of an exaggeration. I do get to get outside some, but still, like not being having the choice to like just go where I want to go and kind of being trapped in the house. It's got me feeling a little anxious today. But I'm good. I'm holding together, and we'll keep pushing on. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, awesome. So how is everyone else feeling today? Let us know. We would like to know how you're doing. Huh.
hmm it's a strange time. It's not out of the realm of imagination that we're all feeling a little bit of anxiety,
Yeah.
but we're pushing on and hopefully turning that like anxiety and like extra time around, that we would maybe otherwise be doing nothing and turn it into something positive if we can. It's a big ask, but I don't know. Trying to keep as positive of a mindset as possible is important.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will say that there has been an increase in like things I've wanted to get done actually getting done. And I think part of that is the anxiety. It's like I'd rather just be busy than, just sitting there thinking about everything. So I've been tackling a lot of projects, which is nice.
hmm
Yeah, so trying to,
I
yeah,
saw
like you
the
said.
I saw the like the CrossFit branding that you made for your
You like
home gym.
that? Yeah.
That's beautiful. Yeah, see that's what I'm talking about. That's like you got all this
Yeah.
extra time and you're working out at home and it's like, oh, well, like why don't I just pour some energy into this? And the result is pretty awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I've cleaned it up so like we really like cut out like a nice space and I hung up like a bunch of like workout posters and stuff, like really trying to take it up a notch. I'm trying to get more equipment, but it is all sold out everywhere. So,
Yeah,
yeah. I'm on all
you
the
get it. Pretty
yeah, I'm on all the like notify me lists, like so the first one that comes available, I'm gonna snatch it up. Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, yeah.
Pretty
But
soon
I
you're
still
gonna have the most popular most popular gym among your buddies once this is, you
yeah.
know, back to some version of normal.
Exactly. I was talking to one of my friends, and I was like, "We're not even gonna have to go back to the gym. We still will.
Exactly.
Yeah, we miss everybody, but like, yeah, it's getting to the point where I could do pretty much anything there. And man, I'm blessed to have that. And that's what I mean. Like, just trying to
Yeah.
focus
Yeah.
on those positives and put that to good use. So yeah,
Good stuff.
yeah,
Well,
cool.
we've got despite everything going on in the world, the GraphQL world chugs along.
It does chug along. It's chugging along nicely too. Yeah, yeah,
So, shall we get into it?
yeah,
What's going on
yeah. Let's do
in
it.
GraphQL this week?
Yeah, let's find out. So the very first thing that I thought was interesting is, why would you open in a whole new window? Well, it doesn't matter. I'll leave it here for now. Um, but yeah, the GraphQL Foundation is one. I thought that was interesting.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
That's pretty awesome. So, yeah, so I guess, well, as the tweet implies, a year ago, the GraphQL Foundation was founded. And why don't we? Do you want to click on the URL there? Let's
yeah. I was
see.
gonna go to that.
Unless you know more about the foundation. I know that I think that we're involved in some way. I mean, Apollo is, but I'm curious to know more. I wish I knew more off the cuff about this.
Yeah, no, I absolutely do want to go here. So what is happening is I'm trying to. zoom in, but Command Plus is no longer zooming
That's
the window.
Oh, you're focused on the location bar. Just click in the content of the page.
Oh, sorry, no, I did. Command
Oh, really?
Plus. Oh, I'm
Oh,
slamming Command Plus right now.
that's so
Ain't
strange.
nothing happening. So let's try. Um, I thought there might be something here for that. It's so weird.
Yeah,
Like,
you'd think, huh? What
yeah.
about view? If you go up to view
Oh,
at the
oh,
top.
oh, view at the top. Yeah, good call. Sure. Or maybe zoom in. Command plus. Yo, I was hitting Command plus. Now I want to try it again. And now it's working.
Okay, that's weird.
That's so
Uh,
weird.
the
Okay,
web
whatever.
and its mysteries.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Is that? Yeah, that's pretty large, right? I could go one more. I think. How's that? Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. So cool. So the GraphQL Foundation. I think it's just like a conglomerate, right? It's just a bunch of people who are heavily invested in GraphQL, but it's like neutral. It's a foundation. It's not run by a
Hmm.
business or anything. And I guess the goal is to steward the path of GraphQL, right? Throughout the future.
Right, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just reading their thing here. It says the GraphQL Foundation encourages contributions, stewardship, and a shared investment from a broad group of vendor neutral events, documentation, tools, and support for GraphQL, which is basically what you just said. So that's cool. What I'm
Yeah.
wondering is how, if at all, it relates to the GraphQL working group, which I know is also. I mean, I know the working group is meant to make decisions on the GraphQL spec and like moving that forward in like an official way, and maybe this is more of just kind of like a an advocacy thing.
Yeah, that's a really interesting question. I actually was under the impression that that was the same thing. But you're right,
Oh,
it's not. The GraphQL working group is separate. Yeah, okay, interesting. Well, I guess we're
I,
gonna
I
find out. We could take a look though.
yeah, sure. Who we
Okay,
are.
well, yeah, it's created by the founders of GraphQL along with many organizations. Oh, that was the first paragraph up top.
Mhm.
Okay, so they host the GraphQL specification, JS reference implementation, data loader, and graphical. Now, when they say host, they just
Okay.
mean like they do in fact run this as well.
I don't know.
Yeah, let's go. Okay, yeah, let's go back. Um,
Maybe they are the same thing.
yeah, I mean, I'm just reading it. Not only does this enable developers to rapidly, yeah, like I don't know, it's really kind of not clear.
Yeah. Huh.
My look at all these companies.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. I mean, whether the same or not, I'm all for both or either, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's cool. Oh hey, look at that. Let's see. Yeah, I want to jump back. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like who we are foundation. They host. See, this word is like I don't know what that means. Like you host the website, or
Yeah,
like,
right.
or like you host as in like you are that. Like yeah, we host all these meetings, or like we're responsible for GraphQL JS and data loader and
Right.
graphical. That's what it seems more like. I wish it would
Unclear.
say the GraphQL Foundation is responsible for or
Hmm.
manages.
Host is a word that has a lot of like extra meaning tied up to it within the
Yeah,
web development world, so it's kind of makes it unclear.
yeah.
But maybe we can being that we're in one of the member organizations, we can make a suggestion.
Ooh, that's a good call. We could make a suggestion about that. Yeah, I like that. Cool. But either way, it's a year old today, which is awesome.
Yes,
Because
Mazel Tov.
Yeah, most of
Congratulations,
yeah, because
Apollo Foundation. I mean, GraphQL
is
Foundation.
yeah, GraphQL is 5 years old.
Hmm.
So with only 4 years of life, they were like, oh, I guess it's time to put together something to manage where this thing goes.
Hmm.
Has the GraphQL like schema changed much at all?
Yeah, I'm sure it has. Uh, I don't know. I haven't really been in the GraphQL world for long enough
Gotcha.
to like recall specific changes, but yeah, like I think that there's been even in the form of like new directives and
Ah, yes, good call.
like different like syntax um, additions. I don't know if fragments were something from the start or not. I now I'm kind of like getting into uh, like guessing territory, but yeah, I would imagine that things like that have changed over time. But yeah,
Yeah, that's true, and it's neat. So if you want to know
graphical
what's changed,
subscriptions, yeah.
yeah, it actually lines up to the releases. So each release here marks a change in the spec.
Cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's good to know if you want a history lesson.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. This is neat, and I've been failing again. Let me start dropping some links into the chat. You know,
Nice.
amateur hour over here. Boom. You get a link. You get a link. And you get a link. Everybody gets a link. Cool.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so there's the first thing on my list, which is, I thought was pretty neat.
All
Um,
right.
yeah, so let's do this. Pure. And I'm gonna focus this, and maybe the next one when I open it will open in the right way. Or
Can
maybe I'll
only
just
hope.
copy the link and then boom. So I saw this and I thought this was really cool. So if there's if you're looking for to learn like how to build full stack apps and you want to use GraphQL but other stuff, this was like a neat course that I saw that's open. So it's actually used at the University of Helsinki, but they opened it up uh, for everyone, so it's free now. And I didn't go through the whole course, but I did go through and just click on some of these things, and it's really awesome. So it talks about like fundamentals of web apps, and then how to get started building. So like it covers pretty decent amount of stuff. Like we got
Oh,
Ajax
cool.
in here. What's a single page app? Yeah, so I thought this was really neat. And if we go back uh, to, to here, we've got intro to React, communicating with the server, programming with Node, testing, testing React apps, like all kind of interesting things. State management with Redux, React router, hooks, GraphQL, and TypeScript even. So I thought that was neat.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff here, and so I went into like a bunch of these sections, and there's a lot of good content.
Sweet. Let's
Yeah,
check out the GraphQL one. I'm
yeah,
curious
let's do
if
it.
that's on.
Yeah, so I was going in here, and so it walks you through setting up the server, setting up through that. So like if we take a look here, it even starts off by like explaining, a little bit about REST, the GraphQL philosophy. Let me make this even a little bigger. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, that's pretty big.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, and then you can see, so it talks about like, here's what schemas and queries are. It's just another avenue, right? Like, uh,
Yeah,
Apollo Docs also does this really well. But what I liked about this was that this is like going through a flow of teaching somebody, from like the beginning of here's the idea of a web app to now I'm building full stack apps. And I like the progression that it moves along. It seemed nice.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually
It
already
seems
sent
very
this.
thorough.
Yes, I've already sent this to a few people.
Yeah, I've actually got a friend in mind who is working on building his rebuilding his portfolio, but he's using some modern tech like React and Gatsby
Nice.
and GraphQL, and
Yeah.
so I'm gonna send this to him as well.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. So, yeah, I just wanted to mention this. Yeah. Oh, awesome.
Classic.
You
No,
just,
that's yeah, that's good to hear, man.
yeah, that is so cool. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I feel like it's easy to find like the separate information. It's nice when it's all put together for you. Like, hey, start here, end up here. You'll have like a full stack app. You'll understand how to all these things tie together. But yeah, this is cool.
Cool.
I dig
Who's
it.
responsible for it? Who made this?
Yes. So let's go back right here. And so I think it's multiple people. So when you actually read, if we go here, um, I believe it had, yeah, authors and license. So part 0 through 8 are written by Maddie, I'm gonna Lukanen, which I believe is where we just were. Okay, so this is
Okay.
his GitHub. Um, and yeah, I was thinking it was gonna take us to his Twitter, but nope.
It's a
And
pretty Finnish
then
sounding name.
yeah, yeah. And then part 9 was written by some developers from this company. And then other people have contributed and helped fix up the material. This is probably the contributors list. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Oops.
Oh
But yeah,
dear.
I think it's very awesome. So kudos to them for creating this. It's very cool.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Actually, I'm gonna retweet this too. Retweet. Bam. Share it with everybody.
Nice.
All
Do
right.
your part.
Yeah. All right. Exactly. Yeah, so that was very cool. I like that course, and I've added it to my list. I have like a list of like different like courses um, that are free that I recommend to people getting into web development. I get asked
Mm.
that question a lot. How
Yeah,
do you
me
get
too.
started? Yeah, so I like to keep a list.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And is it like a publicly available list?
You know what? It's not. It's just like in my notes, but now I'm gonna make it a blog
Hmm.
post now that you've said that because it's
That
really
would be a
no
great
work. And
idea.
it's already like written like Markdown, so I can just copy it into. I don't know why I haven't done that.
Totally, yeah. And it would be like a cool sort of ongoing blog post.
Yeah,
Um, right?
yeah, exactly. It would be one that has no end that would change over time. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good idea. I honestly should do the same. I try to like keep these in my head, or I mean, like I just did with this one, I bookmark a lot of stuff,
yeah,
but my
exactly.
browser bookmarks menu is like thousands of items long,
Yep,
and it's completely unmaintainable.
yep,
Um, so yeah, having some kind of like separate curated list, I think would be really helpful for that kind of thing.
absolutely, absolutely. Okay, cool. Yeah, so speaking of like curated lists of education, that actually brings us to
Hey,
our
segue.
next yeah, that was a perfect segue. And here we just have Mark Andre just tweeted out. I like this. It's a very simple, straightforward thing to do. Of like what he recommends as a good path for if you're new to GraphQL and you want to learn GraphQL, these are the things he recommends. So he also wrote the book Production Ready GraphQL for those who aren't familiar. And so I think that's what he means. Like a lot of times he talks about GraphQL at scale and not so much as like from a beginner aspect. And so this is what he would recommend. So we have here, of course, go to graphql.org/learn and let's just open this up. Yeah, this is like from GraphQL.org's site, and it will get you familiar with all the verbiage and like the ideas behind GraphQL. And then next is play with Graphical. So just going to um, uh, like a instance of an existing playground. So
Mhm.
like this one is the GitHub API. I'm already logged in. I've actually been using this API to build a script to generate open source health reports, and this was super useful in that endeavor. I spent a lot of time in here.
Yeah, for sure. One of the things that I love about Graphical, if you click the Explorer tab there at the top beside history,
Oh yeah, Explorer, yeah. Yes,
um,
this shows you all the data that is available to you. And it will actually build the query out for you. So like if we did, let's do organization. And so now it knows that we need login, which login is like their username. So we could say follow GraphQL. And so now it's like auto-filling and generating this, but we haven't accepted anything, like requested anything. Let's get the avatar URL. And
mhm,
I'm going to get rid of this part, although that would have just returned my GitHub username. And we run this, and there we go. Let's go look at it.
mhm. And so for me, this is a really beginner friendly way of acquainting yourself with GraphQL and kind of getting to understand like how to build a query, what it means like you select a checkbox on the left, it adds a field to your to the panel to the right of the list of checkboxes, and then when you hit play, it shows you what the response is, which hopefully you make the connection that it's like um, it mirrors the query, and that for me certainly it was like a big light bulb moment, and for a lot of other people like um, my friend I was telling you about who's getting acquainted with it
Yeah.
recently, like that's just kind of like a, oh cool, like I get why this would be helpful.
Yes.
um, and so this is I often refer to this the GraphQL Explorer panel as the like the shopping list UI or shopping list
Yeah.
experience,
Like check off what
where
you
you're
want. Yeah.
yeah, exactly, you're going down the list and you're like, oh, I would like this and this and this, like how what do I want to build my UI out of? I need these things.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's a great way to look at it. Yeah, because that's what it is. You check it off, you've added it to your list, it gives you back exactly that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is also for me something that I love about it personally is it's more junior friendly as well. I find that uh, not only is it more junior friendly, but it's also more friendly to people who aren't necessarily in technical roles or as technical roles. Like product managers love to have access to the data that's
Totally.
available to you. Testing, right? QA teams love this. They can, pick what data should be present, build the query, and like, be able to add that kind of stuff to tickets. It's like very powerful. It lets everyone speak the same language, which is really nice.
Yeah,
Um,
it almost
yeah,
it ensures that you don't have to be a pro to write a GraphQL query. You
exactly.
can rest assured that the output that you see in the second from the left panel there is a GraphQL query. It will run, um,
Yeah,
it provides like a um, common language that people can communicate on without having to like understand everything about the syntax and how to write it.
exactly. Yeah, it's amazing. Cool. So
Very
wow,
cool.
that was deep. We went deep on that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what else did he write in there?
Yeah. Oh, of course, learning GraphQL. So like honestly, to me, whether you know GraphQL well or not, this is a good book. Like I would consider myself someone who knows GraphQL pretty well. I've used GraphQL for many years, and I bought this book a couple months ago, and it's amazing. You know, so you don't have to be like brand new to GraphQL for this book to be worthwhile.
Look at
So look at that. Yeah, see, he's got
that.
his copy.
I guess you can't see with the old camera focus, but yeah, there we
Yeah,
go.
yeah, right.
We are both learning GraphQL.
Yeah, you're always learning GraphQL. It's a great book. And yeah, so I recommend that book no matter how long you've been doing GraphQL. But like I do get it. And yes, like especially for someone who's new, that book is written extremely well. So yeah, kudos to them, um, the authors. It's Eve Forcello and that's it, Alex
Alex Beck.
Banks. That's it. Thank you. I couldn't remember that. Yeah, Alex Banks. Yes. Yeah, it's awesome. It's a fantastic book. Oof. Oh, here we go. Oops. Well, that works. Roll up your sleeves. So after you read the book, right? And because that's going to get you from like, I know what GraphQL is to understanding how you implement GraphQL, like to get started with it. Um, and then he's saying, roll up your sleeves and build a server and client. So I like that. You've got Apollo, you've got Relay. Those are the most common. And yeah, so now he's saying head to those docs and go through the tutorials, which, yeah,
Mhm.
that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I mean that's often like I tell people when they when I get the question like how do I learn X or um yeah, like
Yeah.
learn any technology. The thing I always say is that you should come up with an idea. It doesn't have to be a complex idea. It could be like any old like it could be a to-do list app. That's like the that's like the most common like boring idea, but you can get
Yeah.
more creative with it. The point is give yourself uh like a tangible thing that you're trying to accomplish, and then just as Marc Andre puts it, roll up your sleeves and just get in the weeds, get dirty, like write
Yeah.
or make a million Google searches or Bing searches if that's your thing. And
Duck, duck, go it. Whatever it takes.
sure, yeah, doesn't matter. But the point is like just kind of struggle through getting to completion of a very simple idea, and you're gonna learn a lot more than rifling through tutorials, copying code, and stuff like that. Um, so I think, and there's a time and place for everything. But I totally agree with this tweet, and
Yeah.
I yeah I offer the same advice to people who ask me a similar question.
Yeah, totally. Totally. Yeah, this is yeah, I mean eventually at some point, no matter how much you read about it, the experience of actually creating it and building something in it is, it's always going to be super valuable. You know what I
Yeah.
like to build instead of to do my to do app is a weather app. I like to make little weather apps.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's my thing. I don't know why. I just like it. It's easy, but you can make it complicated enough to where you can kind of, get pretty deep in it. So it's cool.
Do you
Pretty
have
cool.
a go-to weather API for this kind of thing?
Oh man, now you're really tugging at the heartstrings. So like yes. So I've been using Dark Sky. If you've not
Oh,
used the
I've
app,
just heard about them.
yeah, yeah. So you might have heard about them because Apple just bought them and they
Hmm.
are taking down their API and they're taking
Oh,
down their Android app. So I'm
oh,
pretty
I'm sorry,
hurt
dude.
as an Android user and someone who makes regular use of their API. So
What a bummer.
it is a
Yeah,
bummer,
that
but
I remember that happened on April Fool's Day too, and
yeah,
everybody was reacting to it like, are you
yeah,
serious?
yeah. Yeah, I even emailed them and I was like, "Oh, I've been a long time, user of your API and the Android app. I really hate that it's going away."
That's so sad. Yeah, and their whole thing was like hyper local weather,
Yes,
right?
and it works really well. And like it would be great for me, especially because like here in Virginia, like even also when I lived in North Carolina, like this kind of, like the bottom of the East Coast, it's probably like this a lot of other places, but the rain just can just come. Like it'll be bright and sunny, and then there's showers for the next 30 minutes and then they're gone and then it's sunny again. So like it would be like, oh, it's gonna start
Strange.
raining in 5 minutes and you're gonna get up to like an inch of rain over the next like few minutes. You're like, oh, it's gonna
Okay.
pour. So we gotta get in something to, that kind of thing.
Darn. I mean, what else is out there that you could use in place of dark
I've
sky now?
already, yeah, so yeah, good question. And I've already found a replacement. And it's called uh Climacell. and let's look them up. They have an API too, and an Android app. Their notifications aren't as good um, by any means. Is this right? No, that definitely ain't it.
I
I shouldn't have done
dig
that.
the logo though.
Yeah.
Very snazzy
Oh, now
looking.
that's all you're going to recommend to me, huh, Google? Oh, .co. So they have micro weather, but they're already being used by like lots of big companies. However, their notifications on the Android app aren't quite as good. But then again, it
Okay.
hasn't rained, so I can't really say. But like, I also used to get like it would just have the temperature like in my status bar and like other stuff like that. It doesn't do that anymore. Like this app
Okay.
doesn't do that. But they have Hypercast. They have a weather API. Um, you could do a lot of cool stuff with it. So it's like a very open API. You can build whatever you want, and that's what I mean. Like
Awesome.
you can go from listing 7 days worth of weather overview to like building your own heat maps of like precipitation or air quality. So that's why I like the weather stuff because it's fun
Awesome.
for me. But yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, that's it. Climacell. If anybody wants to build a weather app, let me drop this. I haven't looked at the documentation as far as how much it costs. Like Dark Sky API was super cheap to use. I hope that they are equally as cheap. We'll see.
Hmm.
Yeah, we'll find out. But yeah,
All
okay.
right.
So diving back in, um, 4A. Okay, so I guess this is like following into the roll up and build things. It looks like Awad has a lot of information on how to build things with GraphQL.
It's good to know.
Yeah, and yeah, it's highly recommended. Let's go take a look real quick. So he's got a lot. Oh, he's done with TypeScript. No, it can't be. But yeah, it looks like this guy's got a lot of
Clickbait.
videos. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm done with it. Oh, oops. And then look at this, 2 hours ago. Why TypeScript is actually good. He got us. He got me anyway.
He did.
All right. Yeah.
Well played, sir.
Yeah, well played. Touche. Yeah, so I guess yeah, 4A. And then if you get through all of that, April Fool's joke. Oh, maybe.
True.
That's a good call. Was that on the first 5 days ago? Yeah. Ha, that's funny. Probably was an April Fool's joke. Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, so yeah, if you get through that, then he's like, hey, now read my book. You've made it this far. You're dealing with some heavy GraphQL stuff. Read this book, yeah.
Hmm.
Which I am excited to read and have ordered. So
I like that. That's a comprehensive list of things to check out, and they're like in an order that makes sense too.
yes, it's
Right
awesome.
on. Do you want to link to the full
Thread, right?
thread?
Oh,
Yeah.
I do. Oh, I do, good sir. Boom.
Wonderful. I'll give it a little retweet myself. I think that that is
Yeah,
retweet for good advice.
yeah, yeah,
Cool.
100%. Yeah, cool.
Thank you, Marc
Uh,
Andre.
yes, always, right? Okay, so next up, this one is coming straight out of Apollo, and we're hiring. So
Hey.
hiring for a senior solutions architect. I think there's also another job listing currently. There's only two right now that I am aware of. But yes, we hiring still. So if you want to apply, let me actually share this
Hmm.
tweet. You can follow the link, and yeah, that'll get the ball rolling.
For sure. Do you know a solutions architect?
Yeah,
Send them our way.
yeah.
Um,
Please, we'd love to
yeah.
speak with them. Yeah, seriously, like all jokes aside, we would love to speak with them. Yeah, and then last thing I've got here for today, but not the least. Um, sure, I will actually be on the author stream tomorrow. So more and more companies, which I love, are starting to stream, and
Hmm.
I'm excited about this. I like it. I feel like this opens up the door for a lot of fun collaborations that weren't being done before. And I am excited. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So I'll be on the author stream tomorrow, 10:30 Pacific time. And yeah, we're gonna be talking about, yeah, there you go. It is much needed, I feel like. Yeah, and it's cool. And again, that I guess comes back to trying to, find the positive in all this. This is really creating avenues. Like, look at how many online conferences there are now. That's so
Hmm.
accessible to people. A lot more than physical locations, right?
Yep.
I'm
Agreed.
excited to, yeah, I'm excited to see where this all leads, you know. And
Yeah.
I'm I'm more excited to see what it looks like on the other side.
Like how much of these behaviors carry over, and
Yeah.
also like I think if nothing else, it'll introduce a lot of people to the world of streaming, especially even like opening up the world of streaming topics like web development, or
Yeah.
having a place to discuss GraphQL live on stream, um, where
It's
where
awesome.
it might not have really been top of mind for a lot of people before, uh, and now, I mean, what else are you gonna do? It's
Yeah.
you're at home all day. You gotta tune into your favorite web dev streams now.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's a wonderful thing, and hopefully it'll put a lot more people onto this, and they'll they'll remain fans of watching streams like this.
I think so. And I think when we think of things like conferences, like I don't think it has to be black and white where you're either virtual or you're physical. But I think
Right?
once people understand and the infrastructure that it takes, like they'll be both available. I don't see why not. Why can't people
Yeah.
virtually attend and physically attend? It's up to you, to have either option. Or just like what conferences stay virtual. I think it's going to be really interesting. Yeah, and I'm really excited about the streaming thing and like another whole area of this. There's so many different things that are being streamed now. Like somebody was telling me the other day, like someone needs to make like a platform for streaming like fitness stuff, like workouts and things like
Hmm.
that, like an aggregated platform. And that's not the only thing. People are streaming. My son does like these like it's called little ninja classes. It's like a mix of karate and American ninja style training, like
Cool.
tumbling and gymnastics and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And they're going virtual. So like he'll be in the living room
Oh,
and the whole class will be online. He'll see his coach and then he has his kids there to demo it and then we help them through it. And like yeah, they can't do like the full on obstacle stuff that they were doing, but there's a lot of stuff that they still can be doing.
for
So I'm just like
sure.
interested to see, if some of that stuff continues after this is over.
Yeah, definitely. I think that I've noticed the same thing. One of my friends is a yoga teacher, and she's
Yeah.
gone full like virtual classes now, and it
Yep.
seems to be doing just fine. I think she just uses Instagram Live.
Yeah.
Um, but just back to what you were mentioning before about like the kind of like what should you call it, like hybrid conference,
Yeah.
virtual or in person.
Yeah.
Our friend Dom helps organize React Adelphia,
Oh,
and
right.
and that's another great example of, for as long as I've known about it, it's been one of these hybrid conferences.
Yeah.
There's a physical conference happening in Philadelphia, but they bring in speakers from all over the world virtually. And right now, they like, for them, adapting to this new global climate is like, it's they don't even have to think about it.
Yeah.
They already have all of the process, all of the infrastructure they need to put this
Yeah.
conference on virtually. So it's just like, oh, okay, like we'll just continue doing our thing and shut down the physical aspect for now.
And something
So
genius that I didn't even think of, the flip side as far as like not only can uh, people who want to attend do it virtually, but yeah, people can give talks virtually,
yeah.
which cuts down on costs of the conference if they want to, right? Which cuts
Hmm.
down on costs on ticket prices, which makes it more accessible to people if they still want to physically be there.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It makes putting on a free conference actually feasible. Like
It does.
for a lot of conferences, the burden of travel and accommodation and um, that kind of thing it really tends to drive costs up. Um, and I think if you're a speaker and you want to speak at multiple conferences, if you have the option to do them virtually, you don't have to often like pick and choose between, oh, should I go to this conference in San Francisco or this
Yep.
conference in Atlanta? They're 2 days apart. I don't want to travel, like I don't want to be traveling nonstop.
Yeah.
Now you can, from the comfort of your own home in your pajama pants, you can do both, which is pretty awesome. And
You
hopefully
could
it
even
means
go
we'll,
to one of them physically and then do the other one
yeah,
remotely from the place where you're at, where you went to see the physical one.
there you go. Yeah.
Big
Options,
old
man.
green screen, just a
Options.
green sheet. You're good to go.
Mm.
Yeah, but
Yes.
I thought that was cool. Yeah, that was a bit of a derailment, but I'm excited about this time. I saw the light about streaming web devs before this happened. I was very interested in it. Um, and this just kind of like pushed up the timeline a lot, and got
For
me really
sure.
motivated to actually do it.
Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about what you're going to be talking about on the Authos stream and um what we can look forward to?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, so we'll be on the auto stream, so I'm just going to be going over like Apollo and setting up, authentication. Um, yeah, with auto, and just actually talking about like what's coming up in Apollo GraphQL as well. So
All
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Good stuff. Well,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
I'm I'm definitely going to be there. I hope the rest of you guys in chat come through. That's tomorrow morning, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's tomorrow morning at 10:30. Awesome. Ghana, West Africa. Heck yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And that's what I mean. That's so cool.
Hmm.
Ah,
It really opens up the world a whole lot, huh?
yeah, yeah, and that's a very good point. Like when it's even when the talks are recorded, yeah, you hope that they get uploaded pretty soon because then like you forget they get uploaded, but like you've already, forgot that the conference talks were even a thing. Um,
Hmm.
Yeah, it's just nice to feel like you're watching it when it's happening. I agree. Yeah, cool.
Very cool. Well, welcome to the stream from Ghana.
Yeah, we'd
Much
love to
love.
have you. Thanks for joining. It's really cool. Yeah, and that's all I got. Does anyone else have anything? Trevor, do you have anything, or does anyone who's on the stream have anything? If there's anything you can think of that happened recently in GraphQL, we would like to know. So
Thinking.
we'll leave it open for a minute or two, and we'll see.
Yeah, I'm just thinking a little bit. I mean, maybe we'll touch on this more next week, but I want to at some point give a little bit of spotlight. It's not like a recent happening or anything, but there's been a lot of development, like ongoing development in the world of WordPress GraphQL, and it's
Oh,
not like an official thing done by WordPress. This is done by the community. It's led by um, a, a, it's led by a few people, but one of the people that come to mind is Jason Ball from Gatsby, um, and uh, and I know the Gatsby team is also like pretty heavily invested into um, like this WordPress GraphQL integration. And the reason it's top of mind is because I've been using it for a couple of projects, including something that we're going to be talking about next week. So little preview, but the Apollo blog is getting a bit of a facelift, and
Ooh,
we're
that's right.
we're we're building a new blog, and we're using WordPress and GraphQL and Gatsby to build it. And so shout out to it's what you're looking for is WP GraphQL.
Ah, thank you. That would
Yeah, sorry.
save me a lot of.
Um,
Yeah, thanks.
so yeah, this it's again, it's not like a brand new tech, but
Yeah, yeah.
if you go to, it should be on GitHub. I'm surprised that that's not coming up. I'll just paste it in. I'll paste it in
Yeah,
chat.
he's coming up, but oh, wpgraphql.com.
Oh yeah. Oh, and actually check that out. Yeah. Go to If you go to wpgraphql.com,
My mouse
or
would work.
more specifically the docs here, I'm pasting it in chat.
Oh, there we go.
This is kind of a trippy thing, but I don't know if you recognize the layout here.
Ha! I would recognize this anywhere.
Isn't that interesting? So, for those who don't know, our docs at Apollo are um, run off of a open source Gatsby theme, and um, yeah, as you can see, the resemblance is uncanny. But and the folks at WP GraphQL have um, used our theme
Which is
to
awesome.
build their website too, which is awesome. And yeah, it's just like uh, spreading the love within the GraphQL community. That's what it's all
Love it.
about. But yeah, just wanted to shout these guys out.
Yeah.
If you're um, if you're building a website that requires a content management system, obviously there's plenty of other options out there. There's Contentful, Insanity, and
All of
um,
them.
there's plenty of them. No shortage. But there's also good old trusty WordPress that's been around for 10 plus years, and some people are familiar with. Some people maybe have grown to hate it. I know that like when I used to work in advertising and built a lot of sites with WordPress, and after a while got sick and tired of it, didn't want to ever see it again until recently. This option of using WordPress without having to write any PHP. No disrespect to PHP, it's totally cool. My tools of choice are JavaScript, React, GraphQL, things like that. So when I had the opportunity to build with WordPress and the tools that I love, that seemed like a pretty great deal.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, shout out to them, and check them out if you're into that kind of thing.
absolutely. And a large part of the web is still powered by WordPress. Like people underestimate just
Hmm.
how much of the dub is powered by the other dub.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
Yeah.
And also like if you're getting into the world of like freelance web development and building sites for clients, there's
Yeah.
a good chance that a lot of clients, just speaking from experience, a lot of clients will tend to prefer WordPress as like a content management system just for the familiarity part.
Yep.
So doesn't hurt to know how to integrate it into your tech stack.
I like it. I like it a lot. I mean, they have a huge plugin ecosystem that for a lot of crazy things that you don't really think about you needing until you're building for like a company, you know, that like maybe they sell stuff and they have a forum and they have like all this
Yep.
other stuff and like WordPress has plugins for all. That's cool.
Hmm. Yeah. So that's the only thing that I've got to share today. But
Well, that was a
um,
good thing.
yeah,
Thank you for sharing.
for sure.
Cool. All right, yeah. Well, no links have flooded in through the chat, so I guess that wraps us up for today, which is cool because it's been like an hour, so that's good.
Awesome. Well, it was great chatting with you, Kurt, as always,
Always.
and we'll look forward to next week.
Yeah, absolutely, and thank you for joining us, everybody. And this will be cut up and put up on YouTube. like all the other stuff. Yeah.
Great. Thanks,
Apollo.
Questicum. Yeah, drop a follow if you haven't already, and we'll hopefully see you again in here soon.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
Kurt, do you want to give us before we sign off? Do you want to just
Sure.
give us an idea of what is coming up on our channel in the
Yeah.
next week?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm the worst at that. Oh, thank you. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, so every Monday and Thursday, we have repeating shows. So this Thursday, we'll be doing an episode of Launchpad. Launchpad is a series where we build apps start to finish. And currently, we are building an app to help you manage your job search. So, like if you're applying for jobs and you want to track which ones you've applied for, and how you are doing in that process with each different position. That's what the app is. And we've built the front end like architecture out, and we've spun up a GraphQL server in a serverless function, but it's just returning some mock data. The next step is we're going to like make this functioning, as in we're going to add some authentication so that it's user specific, and then we'll add some support for CRUD operations so we can start storing some data, right? It seems like
Mm-hmm.
the next logical step on that, and it should be a lot of fun. So yeah, so definitely tune in. That's Thursdays at 12 p.m. PST, Pacific um, time, and then yeah, also I don't think there. Oh, next week there will also be a mission briefing. I haven't had a chance to drop it on the schedule, but Nader Dabbit from AWS is going to be showing us how to also spin up a serverless serverless GraphQL API using Apollo and AWS Amplify. So what?
Cool.
Yeah,
That'll
it'll
be
be really
awesome.
fun.
Nader's
Yeah,
a great guy too, and that'll really be a fun stream. So you don't want to miss it.
no, yeah. So it'll be coming out on the schedule today. I hadn't got around to putting it out. But yeah, so it will definitely be out. And yeah, we're going to be doing it like next week. So boom, boom, be ready.
Cool. And another reminder that Kurt will be on Otho's stream tomorrow at 10:30.
Yes.
Be sure to catch that as well.
Yeah, all the streams, streaming all the things and loving it. We love it. Woot woot.
Yes.
Cool. All right. Yeah, and that's it. That's everything. So thanks again for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Have a great Monday, and we'll see you again soon.
Oh, yeah.